top right, we have our prime player. Very creative guy. Not only because of his builds, but also because of his nickname. Yes.
Creator Prime.
The WCS champion. He had to fight through so many Protoss vs Protoss matches. Now he finds himself in another mirror match here at the up and down matches for the GSL. To the bottom left starts his opponent, cross-positioned in blue for Complexity Gaming. We have
Complexity.
Yep. And Creator just is the polar opposite of Killer in his PvP record. Something else to think about is that this is like the best possible scenario for Creator with a group that's so dominated by Protoss. For him to be placed in this one after facing so many Protosses in WCS. If Creator doesn't get a win here, I will be really surprised. Killer is really going to have to try to make something unique work to beat this defensive style of Creator he plays for the late game in PvP.
Yeah, the thing is, usually he does, but we've seen so many builds out of him when he was facing Squirtle, where he tried really to be aggressive with the 4 gates and everything. So he just shown that he is not as predictable as he was in the beginning of WCS Korea. To the top, you can also see the win records for both of them. Killer, as mentioned before, didn't win a single map today, and Creator with 1 win and 2 losses is also under a lot of pressure here.
Yeah. We were just kind of waiting to see what choices of tech these players are going to go for. Killer with the first scout. Creator decided to get better economy. This is a huge map, so proxies are not really going to be an issue. Nor is knowing his opponent's spawning location. And sometimes when you scout this early, that's all you get to see.
There's the win ratio in Protoss versus Protoss. This is, of course, a GSL record, and, well, Creator at 50, and you can see that...
that even excludes a WCS, that record up there.
Exactly. So you can see that this is also the 28.6% for Killer that we talked about. His very bad record in the Protoss mirror match when it comes down to the GSL.
That's out of 21 games. That's a huge sample size to have that low of a record for. I mean, in Korea, in that booth that he's sitting in right now, he just does not beat Protosses.
Yeah.
Well, we see that there is a second gateway going up for Creator. This is something that Killer decided to skip. A little bit late on mining from that second gas, but not too big of a problem for him.
If he starts with sentries, this is a build that he has used. Well, the beginning of the build could also indicate that he's once again going for Stargate. This is something that he used with exactly this build on maps like Ohana and Daybreak. This is, of course, a bit of a different scenario with the map being this huge, but something that he could try to pull off.
I would not be surprised to see Creator go for a build like that on a map of this size, because the distance is not really bothered by the huge movement speed of Phoenix's. Killer, on the other hand, Twilight Council.
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely, but it could be DTs as well. But the thing is, on a map of this size, both builds are somewhat limited, but for that reason, I think that it's something that Creator will probably not expect.
And Creator is now getting the first sentry. He is actually getting 2 sentries. He has a bit of a Stalker. How many Stalkers does he have? The Stalker Force on 3. So he's a little bit dominant with the Stalker count here. Has not as much gas as I actually expected him to have.
Killer starts another Stalker as well here, which indicates he will likely not go for DTs. First of all, because that costs 50 more gas, and he's just increasing his Stalker count. There's the Blink Research on the production tab. And build order-wise, this can be good for Killer if his Blink Stalker Micro is flawless, but Creator already starts, of course, with the robotics support, robotics facility. Creator is actually one of the best players at expanding in PvP. He's known for this, in fact.
Yeah, with his robotics and that he's just now building, and his immortal timing. It's just his defense in general, his unit control, his decision-making when he has to split his army. This is really amazing from Creator. He's so good at defending, and we'll find out if he's able to pull this off. He's really in his comfort zone now.
Yeah, and he spots the forward pylon of Killer. That gives him a great idea of what's going on. Killer, though, if he catches these units of Creator out on the map, this would be huge. He's warping in units right now. The probe is still alive. Creator's actually in a lot of trouble because he's going to get sandwiched here with his Stalkers. Blink is about to finish. He's going to trap these Stalkers and kill them. Ah, poor targeting here by Killer. Still almost kills one, and Blink is almost done. Creator needs units. He cancels the Nexus. He's in desperation right now.
Yeah, he moves back here, waits for his one Immortal. Blink still a few seconds away here as Creator now moves up the ramp. He has more supply than his opponent. Uses a force field already on the low ground. He waits for his Immortal. The Immortal not done just yet. Double gate in order to just boost his economy a little bit. Sorry, his production, of course. Yeah. In terms of economy, he is already ahead of his opponent.
Creator actually sends a probe into the main base of Killer. Killer needs to start a Nexus soon because he's not going to be able to break up against this many sentries. And the Immortal count just grows and grows for Creator.
Right now he decides to get an Observer first.
Yeah, and he allows him to get up that ramp, but there's still just so much DPS here.
The sentries.
Gotta be careful with those. Great micro from Killer so far, but he does not have enough Stalkers to target down that Immortal, and that's the bigger issue.
And here comes the second Immortal, is now being produced as the Observer is joining the match and therefore gives him vision on the low ground.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure that there's no units about to blink into his main, because there is a location in which that could occur.
And we have a pilot at the bottom, by the way, where Creator could warp in some units if Killer really decides to go for a Nexus. And this is what Killer does. He builds the Nexus. Creator, with this option of being a little bit aggressive, just warping some Zealots in there, could already take down a lot of Killer's probes.
Very true. Creator takes his own Nexus as well.
And the Twilight Council go for the counter blink.
Oh, he's got to blink away here. That was close. Killer with very low hit points. He could try to target the Immortal. The problem is there's another one. And he cannot fight this army of Creator. It's a big concern of his. And Creator's counterblink is going to be somewhat useful. But Killer is transitioning back home. He's got the Robo on the way. He's going to fight here. Very nice micro. Does lose a Stalker, however.
Loses two.
One, yeah.
Loses three.
Oh, wow, this is actually just not okay. He cannot afford to lose these.
Yeah, he loses too many. Blink is now being started. At the bottom left, the expansion for Killer is a little bit ahead than Creator's. But Creator, once again, in a good position here with a supply lead. 11 supply in total. The Stalker count is currently 8-4 in favor of Killer. He has the Blink, but he doesn't have the Immortal count.
Very true, he cannot fight. Pylon will be taken out here. Killer will actually be supply blocked if he decides to target that. Just momentarily, as he does have a Pylon on the way.
And there comes once again the arm of Killer. He has to be careful, he loses another Stalker.
Yeah, he's actually just donating Stalkers to Creator at this point, and that's not acceptable considering the situation that they are in tech. Robotic Support Bay goes up first for Killer though, which is great for him. This is something he absolutely does need. But if he comes in here when Creator's Blink is done, he's not only going to lose one Stalker.
Yeah, he needs to be very careful how he engages with those Stalkers. If he loses the control on the map right now...
This is a big problem. The Creator's Blink is almost done. He's not going to stop.
Killer blinks away, but really this is going to be very, very dangerous. He can just now walk across the map, and he's warping in units at the bottom left. Warped in a Stalker already.
Killer making 3 sentries right now. He gets it. He knows what's going on. He is in a lot of trouble, though. More Stalkers being warped in. That Robotic Support Bay not too useful. The Observer almost taken out here. Just a coincidental timing. Killer's Stalker's on very low hit points. He does not have Immortals. He's going to have to rely on Force Fields right now.
And I'm not quite sure if he really has the time to do this with the Observer being in position. He has vision on the high ground. He can use, of course, those Immortals. Only one Immortal for Killer. Here are the Force Fields for both of them.
The Pylon on the top left is dead for Killer, which means he's supply blocked, and a blink forward by Creator. The Immortals in the back still do damage. He targets down the Immortal of Killer, and it looks like Killer's PvP record today is not so good.
No, it's not gonna change. Here comes Creator Prime moving in, taking down the last remaining units, and is now free reign at the natural, taking down this expansion of Killer, and therefore ending the chances of the Complexity player to win at least this game.
Yep, he is gonna fall 0-4.
Creator being on 2 wins and 2 losses now, the last Immortal being destroyed.
Killer desperately making units, there's no use. He will lose his Nexus in his main. Even the Gateways is trying to power up right now. GG. Creator still has a chance, a fighting chance in this group. Not going to be easy though.
Being 2-2 right now. He has one shot. Later on he will be facing Vampire. Right now he basically wants Vampire to lose against Supernova.
That's something he's going to have to rely on, and this is what happens when you get a lot of losses early on.
The reason why this is by the way that he's looking at 2-2 right now. So the best score that he can get is 3-2, and he needs to hope for a tie situation. So he wants to be in a tie situation with Vampire that he has to face later on, because if he wins, he will be ahead of his opponent looking at this tie. So actually, wait a second, let me think about this for a second more. We have this sheet right now, and we have still 5 players in the run of getting one of these spots, so it's...
Color's been executed.
No, I'm
the
not
program is running.
Exactly, the program is running.
Keldor.exe, man, I just double-clicked on it. We're about to find out what's really going on in this group.
He lost to Supernova, so it would actually... It's tough, man. It's really tough. At this point, I'm completely honest with you guys. While talking here, trying to entertain you, looking at this sheet and having a look at these results, there are a lot of different ways how this could actually turn out. It all depends on the last set of games. So going through all the possibilities would probably just crack my brain, and we don't want that.
He's
So
got a memory leak right now.
Exactly. Before we are going to go for any kind of predictions, we are waiting for the next set of matches. This will also give me a short break to go through all of this because the next game is already loading, so we don't have any time to actually have a closer look at the details here. Vampire against Supernova has been started. The game is on Metropolis. Protoss versus Terran. Here we go.